What's good? What's good? What's good? I need to start getting me some like little plugins off like beep, 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 beep. But you know what I mean? But you're hey, shout out to the birdie. Gotta take a little sip of water. Big sip of water, actually. A little too much. But you are not watching Juke Boy Sports Show. I am your host, Kyng Ralph. Oh boy. Hope you all are doing good out there in TV land. This last for me, whooped my ass. Might have had that new strain of COVID. Uh, yeah, that new mixtape with my ass fit holding all types of sweats and chills. And I was cold when it was hot. It's 138 degrees out here, but I was freezing. Uh, feeling better. I look good. And send a little shout out to the sponsor, like we always do. If you're looking for a clean, no crash, genderless energy drink, get on your iPhone, your Androids, your Samsung, iPads, computers, all that. Go to DUBBYW.com. Use promo code JUKE, J-U-K, for 20% off. They get you right. And while you're here, wherever you're here from, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Subscribe on YouTube. We just got to 82 subscribers, trying to get to 100. Make sure you follow Juke Network as well on on Facebook. Get to 100 so I can start going live on that page. You can follow the sports show on Instagram, Juke Sports Show, Juke UK Sports Show. Follow me at KYNGRALPH on TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, add an underscore for X and Twitter. And let's to it, G. So, did the top 10 running backs, man, like I said, uh, ailments and illnesses, that new strain of COVID. I'm not sure if I had it. It would, but whatever happened to me last week with my ass. So we gonna do it off the top of the hip or off the top of the dome from the hip, shoot from the hip. So let's get it top 10. I've been doing ESPN's top 10 ranks. Let's see what they got, and then I'll tell you my list. Wow. Hope everybody's doing good. What's happening to my single viewer right now? You're doing good. Say what's happening. But so they got Saquon at 1, Derrick Henry at 2, Jahmyr Gibbs at 3, Bijan Robinson at 4, Christian McCaffrey at 5, Josh Jacobs at 6, Jonathan Taylor at 7, James Cook at 8, Joe Mixon at 9, Alvin Kamara at 10, Bucky, Brees Hall, Aaron Jones, and Devon A-Chain, all honorable mentions. Thanks for showing love. Thanks for showing love. Well, let's get into it. So, me, I like to go 10 up. I think, honestly, I'm going to move some stuff around when it comes to where people are placed, but I'm going to keep, for the most part, I'm going to keep them right about this. I think a lot of this is where, especially when you start to talk about the scouts. The scouts specifically, I think they're doing a projection of going into it because me personally, I just don't think that there's a way that you can rank Bijan Robinson over Christian McCaffrey or Jahmyr Gibbs in the last couple years that Christian McCaffrey has had. But I do think going forward, like I just picked Jahmyr Gibbs number 2 in this draft. I think he's going to have a hell of a year. So I think that this is just more of a projecting what they're going to do in the next season. And Christian McCaffrey is just one of those players that when he has a really great year, he has a hurt year, and then vice versa. So, especially him approaching 30, he's 29 currently. I am going to stick with Alvin Kamara at 10. I'm going to go Joe Mixon at 9. This is where my list starts to get a little tricky. I am going to switch Jonathan Taylor and James Cook. So I'm going to put Jonathan Taylor at 7, 8, James Cook at 7. And then I'm going to drop Bijan Robinson to 6 with Jacobs. And put Josh Jacobs at 5, Christian McCaffrey and Jahmyr Gibbs are going to swap places. So I'm going to put Jahmyr Gibbs. If I'm moving John out of that way, I'm going to put Jahmyr Gibbs at 4, Christian McCaffrey at 3. And then I'm going to leave it with Saquon and Derrick Henry. I just think that what Saquon offered, what he did last year, what he offers from the running back position, being able to catch the ball out the backfield, he's pretty much the one that can go off for 1,200, 1,500 yards and 5 to 7 receiving yards on any given year. Derrick Henry is just going to be your Bill Kyle running back. He's going to be able to get you 1,500, 1,700 yards in his prime. Multiple years for 2,000 yards. Last year, I think he eclipsed. I think he was a little short of 2,000. Yeah, he was at 1,900 yards. Given that he was 31 when he did it, crazy numbers. So you got to give him his props. But just to make sure, so I don't confuse anybody. So we got Alvin Kamara at 10, Joe Mixon at 9, Jonathan Taylor at 8, James Cook at 7. I think James Cook, what he's been able to do, showed a lot of flashes of his brother's skill set. Pretty much has the same skill set. I think he's a little smaller in stature, a little bit more rocky, but explosive. He catch the ball off the backfield, could take the has explosive play capability. Jonathan Taylor, I still think he has it. It's just he plays on a bad offense that really just going to sit on him and not really give him room. I'm going to let Daniel Jones, I'm going to let Anthony Richardson. Y'all got to beat me at the end of the day. I don't care what you got going on. Jonathan Taylor there, hell of a running back, still only 26, which is crazy because it feels like he's been in the NFL for like 10 years. But with the offense that he plays in, it's just unfortunately he's gonna suffer a little bit because but he's very underrated in a sense. So I am gonna put him at 8 and put Cook at 7. This is where Bijan Robinson at 6. I think Bijan Robinson has the total package, the skill set, the modern day skill set to be able to catch the ball out the backfield, line up in a slot, run receiver routes, but also be able to be a 1,200-yard running back as well. Hasn't quite shown or hit mark yet, but now that they have Michael Penix, he did come on late last year when Michael Penix became the quarterback. So I do believe, I'm predicting, I understand why they have him at 4, but I just don't think that what Josh Jacobs has done, I'm going to take that away from him and rank Bijan Robinson ahead of him until he does something that surpasses him. So for me, Bijan Robinson at 6, Josh Jacobs is going to be at 5. I'm going to put Jahmyr Gibbs at 4, Christian McCaffrey at 3, Derrick Henry at 2, and Saquon at 1. What y'all think? How you feel about it? Am I tripping? Are they tripping? Did they get it right? Did I get it wrong? And next topic, if my computer can stop tripping. All right. So rivals. I see this on Cam's 4th and 1. He did his list. I was hella confused. Even Peggy, his co-host, was confused with his list. But Rivals did a list, top 10 5-star recruits since 2000. Their criteria was prep accolades, recruiting hype, college career, and draft stock. So at 1, we had Reggie Bush, Vince Young, Vince Carter, sheesh, Ralph. Vince Young at 2, Adrian Peterson at 3, Tim Tebow at 4, Newton at 5, Jadeveon Clowney at 6, Matt Stafford at 7, Julio Jones at 8, Myles Garrett at 9, and Bryce Young at 10. Off rip, Bryce Young comes off the list. I just think that maybe this is my recency bias. Maybe I don't know. I just didn't really follow like the hype of Bryce Young because I think that his hype coming out of high school, what he did in college, winning the Heisman, being a number 1 pick, and winning a national championship. I do think he won a national championship too at Alabama. But my 10, I just can't put him over Travis Hunter. Doing what he was able to do on both sides of the ball, winning a Heisman, being the best wide receiver, best quarterback, winning a Heisman, number 1 recruit in high school, being a number, I think he was a number 3. I think he was a number 3. Hold on, let me pull that up. What did he end up going? He was the second, actually, overall pick. So I think, given what he was able to do all together, it's hard for me to leave him out of there. Oops, got to switch that over. No, I'm talking about running back, Ralph. But yeah, I think that right now, I think that where it sits today, being able to look at everything, we're not going to look at their NFL careers. We're just totally looking at 10. I'm definitely moving Bryce Young out, and I'm putting Travis Hunter in at 10. I think that Matt Stafford moves down for me. I just don't. He didn't really his hype out of college, and then he showed talent, but I didn't think he really did much in college with that talent. So Matt Stafford, I probably would put Matt Stafford at 9. Uh, Jadeveon Clowney, I would probably move him down to 8. I would move Myles Garrett up as well to 7. And then Cam Newton, I probably would put Cam at 6. If Cam would have had more than 1 year in college, then that's probably where I probably would put him a little higher. Because Tim Tebow being not a great prospect is one of the reasons why, like, I feel like when we start to have this list, he's just not as high on that list for me. I probably would put Cam over Tim Tebow, but Tim Tebow had 4 years and multiple championships. One, I think he was like the first sophomore to win a Heisman. Very well could have won another one, but I just don't think that he didn't really have the draft stock to really be able to be put on the list. Cam Newton was a number 1 player out of high school, won a national championship in high school, won a JUCO championship, won a national championship and a Heisman in college, and then became the number 1 pick and got to a Super Bowl and won an MVP. Now, through this list, we're not talking about the things that they did in the NFL, strictly what they were as a recruit getting to the NFL part. So Tim Tebow is where like Tebow come down this list. I think the most underrated one here is Adrian Peterson, because I remember when he was a freshman and what he did coming in as a true freshman, not a redshirt freshman, was an 18, 19-year-old and it went crazy his freshman year. As a freshman, he ran for 1,900 yards, 15 touchdowns. It was second in Heisman voting. As a freshman, off rip, just straight out the gate, off the dribble, and go crazy. And so I think that what he was able to do in that 3 year span, 4,000 yards. I think another person is Derrick Henry. I ended up looking up. I think Derrick Henry is just eclipsed 10,000 yards, and he's doubled that. And he doubled that in 4 years in high school. And that's the crazy part. That's kind of so to not really have him on that list and what he was able to do. It's just the fact that with him, he didn't get drafted as high. So where start to have these conversations where we're starting to rank people. But I'm gonna leave Reggie Bush at 1. I'm gonna leave Vince at 2, Adrian Peterson at 3. As much as I want to bring Tebow down. I'm gonna leave him at 4. But then I think after that, where I'm gonna bring Julio up. You know what? I'm gonna bring Tim Tebow down and bring Julio up. I'm gonna put Julio at 4, Tim Tebow at 5. Then I'm gonna leave Cam at 6, Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, Matt Stafford, and then go Travis Hunter at 10. And that'll be my top 10. Hold on, take a little swig of beverage. Ooh, that's delicious. All right. And so, speaking of Matt Stafford, he has yet to practice this offseason or during his training camps. We'd be worried. I think he has a bulging disc in his back. And I think it's Stephania Bell was on ESPN, and she was talking about how pretty much that we shouldn't be worried. And if she's supposed to be the ESPN doctor, then we shouldn't be worried. I think it's one of those things that him being older, 37-year-old quarterback, going to be 38. If the offensive line struggles at all, then the weapons that they have aren't really going to matter. I think you have Kyren Williams or Kyren Williams. You can hand him the rock 20 to 30 times. You have Adams on one side. You have Puka Nacua on the other side. So you have weapons to be able, for Matt Stafford to be able to flourish. But I think your title aspirations are hinging on Matt Stafford. Now, do I think Stetson can come in and be decent? Because I definitely don't think Garoppolo's the answer. Believe me, as a Raider fan, I know he's not the answer. But I do think Stetson Bennett can come in and win some games, but Super Bowl, where they were literally one play away from the Super Bowl last year, I would be worried as a Rams fan, just long term. It's a 18-week season, 17 games they play. Matt Stafford with a bulging disc has yet to practice. And I'm going to get into this in just a second when it comes to quarterbacks not playing in preseason. But you need to be able to build that rapport, get a rhythm with your team, especially when you have new pieces on offense, where offense is just a rhythm thing, where maybe on defense you can step in and be able to just go see ball, get ball. But when it comes to quarterback and timing and rhythm and knowing where people are going to be, how they think the game, and how they see the game, I would be a little worried as far as like just not getting off to a good start right away. We'll see what happens with the division. The 49ers, they got players that are hurt. The Cardinals look good when healthy, but they're young. And then you just never know with Sam Darnold. What Sam Darnold are we getting? Are we getting Sam Darnold from 2-3 years ago? Or are we getting Sam Darnold from last year where he was 14-3? So I will be a little worried, but I think that Matt Stafford has showed his toughness, what he can do on a football field. So we'll see going from here. And so, should starting quarterback start preseason games? And I think yes. I'm not saying that they should play full game. I think when it comes to it, like I like a good, all right, give them a couple, uh, not a couple snaps, but a couple series in the first game just to get their feet wet, get back out there. Second game, give them maybe a quarter, and then third game, give them a half, so at least they can get into a rhythm with your first unit. It's going to happen is football at the end of the day. They can not play at all, play in week one and be gone for the season. It's just one of those things. It's just football at the end of the day. It's a gladiator sport. It's dangerous. People can get hurt quickly. So I do think that being afraid for your quarterback to get hurt is one of those things that's how your quarterback get hurt. And so Jordan Love is someone coming off of injured his thumb. Now he had surgery. Should be ready by week one. Joe Burrow hadn't played in a preseason. I think he played his rookie season and didn't play until this year. A couple over this past week. Look good, look great. But you need to be able to build that rhythm and that rapport with your team. And I just don't think that you can do it just by starting off with one. There's a lot of things that go wrong. Like last year, Bengals played the Patriots. They should have won that game. They lose. They come one game short of being in the playoffs. Pretty much putting out Joe Burrow's MVP season, which is what it should have been. Can't make the MVP if you don't make the playoffs. You know what I mean? So I think quarterbacks should play preseason games. Now, if you play another position, maybe, especially on defense. I think defense is one of the ones where, unless you just need to feel what it's like. Uh-oh. I'm back. I'm good. You were good. Hey. But off rip, Jordan is at the top of that list. Let's go ahead and turn some of these devices off. Maybe I just got too much. See, me and my pops have a conversation. Well, Jordan is the GOAT, shooting guard, the GOAT here. Didn't really have holes in his game, was an amazing defender, crazy athleticism, different ways that he attacked the game when he was younger, attacked mid-range, getting the rim, explosive to the rim, crazy athleticism, went off for crazy stat lines, averaging like 35. An era didn't really shoot threes. Then got older, had a more of a back to the basket game, post moves, footwork, still had the athleticism to still go dunk on you. Now comes back from the retirement and has a much more below the rim type of game, but still is effective. One dribble pull up, two dribble pull up. Was able to shoot threes at a higher clip. And even at a 39-40, the thing that I hate when we start to talk about Wizards, Mike, is, bro, what is going on? I figured this out. But just trying to finish out the show. But one thing that I dislike about when we start to talk about Wizards, Mike, if you go and look, I want to say it's like around February, March, is he tears meniscus And up until that point, he had I think the Wizards were fifth in the East, and he was in the MVP running. He tears his meniscus. Jordan doesn't believe in missing games, so he has to play through it. And the team suffered. Then that's where we start to get the whole thing of Mike not looking good as he got old. The Wizards said it wasn't the same Mike. Obviously, it wasn't the same. Mike is 39 years old. But if you go and you look at how he played and look at how he hears about him at that time period, too, is another thing. Obviously, what Kobe was able to do when he was free, and that number 8 jersey to the career that he had at 24, Black Mamba, and the Mamba mentality, um, just really didn't have holes in his weaknesses in his game as well. Had the size, the athleticism, the defense, bucket getter, could create for others, clutch. Mike was clutch. And then the three and four for me just depends on what side. But if you don't have these four as your top 4 shooting guards, this is where I'm like, I don't really pay attention to you. But Allen Iverson and Dwayne Wade. Me, I have Dwayne Wade at 3 just because I think that what he was able to do in, I'm just going to value that a little bit more than Allen Iverson's tenacity on the offensive end. And I think that Dwayne Wade is just as good as getting to the rim and what he was able to do from an offensive standpoint. For me, Dwayne Wade and what he did in that 06 run, getting the Heat a title, then being able to win titles with LeBron, what he was doing in his career, shot blocking from, I think, 6'3", 6'4", being the top shot blocker as a shooting guard. It's hard for me to see anyone but those people in there. And so, last look, bruh, see, trying to push through. I'm still a little sick, but not all the way healthy. But with Shedeur, man, this is one thing. People celebrating Shedeur and what he did in that game on Friday. I get it this preseason. But if he had played bad, y'all would have killed him. So the fact that we're celebrating how well he played, why y'all moving the goalposts? What's going on? Why we can't just be excited for how well he played? No, nobody's saying that he should be starting right now. I'm not, at least. I still think that he's still got work to do. But I think that he's earned an opportunity to, and he very well should get a very good look in game 2. He should start getting reps with the first team to at least see what you got with him and how well he played. He showed poise, pocket presence, accuracy, touch. Yes, he was 2s, 3s, and 4s. He also had 2s, 3s, and 4s on his side too. So just to be able to see what he could do against ones, with his ones, I think would be able to go to pay dividends for him. But I hate the whole thing, how they treat him. And one last thing before I get up out of here, man, on a fast break tip. I like what I saw from the Raiders. Aiden O'Connell definitely going to be a backup, so I have no issue with how he played. He's backup. If not, you don't get, then I'm really going to have an issue with how he played. But I liked how engaged the starters were, even though they weren't there. Jamal Adams was flying for the fifth linebacker position. I did like that. Booker showed flashes of being able to stop the run. Don't really see him as a high volume sack getter, but the ability to stop the run, I like that. And the fight to be able to get back to the game to tie is I like the fight. I like what I saw from him. But in the end, thank you all for watching. Sorry for my technical difficulties at the end. I gotta get up out of here, but make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Subscribe on YouTube, Juke Network. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. Followers on Juke Network on Facebook as well. Follow Juke Sports Show on Instagram, and make sure you follow anywhere that you get your audio podcast. And I'm out of here. Peace.